I'm Karyl Gilbetson, and I was born and raised in the Peace Country, and I've been drawing since I was 2 years old, pretty much. And my mom kept the little drawing of her hatchback that I did when I was 2 years old, and ever since then. So born and raised here in the area, and then obviously really big into art as I was growing up. And then when it came time to, decide on what I was going to do after high school, figured, I could go do something with that, try and find a career that was I was passionate about. So went off to Calgary and studied at the Alberta College of Art and Design for 4 years. Ended up graduating there, moving back up here to Dawson, to get married, have kids, and currently work as a web designer, graphic designer at a shop here in the Peace Country, and it's been good. My mom was very creative when she was young, and there's there was some paintings and drawings in my grandma's house that my mom had done, and so she had kind of an artistic bent as well. And my dad was kind of as well, not super, not overly, but I remember hearing that he was good into penmanship and calligraphy when he was younger. He's not quite as artistic as my mom was, but he was certainly open to it. And then, my mom encouraged it. And so I met Mike back when we were in third grade. So I knew Mike quite early on. And so I have some fond memories of going over to his place when we were kids and trying to make comic books, me and him. Mike was into drawing a little bit when he was younger too, working out of the How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way book. And which is funny because Jack actually picked that up not too long ago, and I was like, oh man, this is nostalgia for me. Drawing, used to draw comics and then draw 5 pages and get bored, and then next week we'd try something else kind of thing. But it was good times, and I love going over there because his mom was into drawing, obviously, and into art, and she had a nice big drawing table that we used to use when we were over there, so it was really cool. Being the artistic guy, people would see me drawing in my notebooks and stuff and be like, are you going to be an artist when you grow up? And I'm like, oh, maybe. That'd be cool. But that was kind of the only real thought about it, was artist, which is, obviously a fairly nebulous term. So I didn't really think about it too hard until I got into high school. But then that's kind of when I even started getting more aware of things like concept art, right? Where thinking about all these commercial products out there, like media, that whether it be games or movies or whatever, that require tons of art on the back end, right? So I sort of had a rough idea when I went off to ACAD, right? And then with the idea that, I'm going to figure it out once I get there, once I see, what's sort of available. And painting was definitely one of the things I considered when I was there, and in first year for sure. I love painting, and so it would be cool to go that route for sure. And some people were making some awesome work there at the time, but I just kind of figured that something with a more commercial application would be a little bit better as a career path. And of course, I love things like graphic design is interesting to me as well, right? Seeing some of the greats in terms of really high-end graphic design is really awesome. So it certainly is something that attracted me to it as well, not just being able to cash a paycheck, but the actual work itself as well. Yeah, I think with ACAD, it's like you definitely learn a ton on the job, of course, right? Like doing things and actually having to do things to get things done. There's not really any substitute for that, but it is nice to sort of have a foundation like that. I think like it helps you even when you're learning new things, when you're working, like it helps you organize that information, right? Like to know what to apply and what not to, right? Or like, I can use this piece to, in this way. And it makes learning on the job afterwards a little bit more efficient and a little bit more or less painful, I suppose. So I don't know. That's my unscientific theory anyways. It's kind of funny. I struggle with it because I don't have as much of a structure, I think, because it's like, okay, so like I can explore anything. Like I don't have to do anything. I can, like what's interesting, and like there's just too much and I want to experiment so much that I don't know where to start. But at the same time, like that is kind of what is attractive about doing art when you're, on your own as an adult, right? Doing your own thing. And that pressure to just to be a certain way is gone. And I think that's the kind of artwork that I gravitate towards in terms of like looking at artwork too, and like and appreciating artwork is I like the stuff that doesn't seem to have, well, I was going to say doesn't seem to have a purpose, but that's not quite accurate. That's more about the process and like the purpose being making art and being creative, as opposed to depicting something accurately or making something for a client, or like designing something that would go on a wall somewhere. One of my big like artistic media, I would say, I guess, that I consume is I really like Juxtapose magazine, because I mean Juxtapose has a lot of counterculture stuff incorporated in it, right? Like they do a lot of graffiti and things like that, and I appreciate graffiti, but I really appreciate graffiti, in fact. But my absolute favorite pieces in those in Juxtapose seem to be the people that don't care about being an artist. They just feel the need to go make something, and then they go, it's not about what pieces am I going to have in my next show. It's about, I'm going to go out in my shed and make something weird just because it's fun. And that stuff seems to speak to me more than a lot of the other work that's out there, even though there's impressive art in all sorts of different genres and such, but and sometimes the stuff that people are making in their sheds isn't the most technically accomplished. But again, there's something about the honesty of that kind of work, where it's just something that they have inside of them that they've got to get out, and they go and do that. It's I just find it really refreshing to look at, and like even if it's super weird, I can appreciate it or accept it.